All right, well, this story gaining some interest this morning. uMkhonto weSizwe Military Veterans Association spokesperson Carl Niehaus has been served with a notice of suspension. Now, he has 48 hours to plead his cause. Let's find out what happened now. We'll chat to ANC National Spokesperson Pule Mabe. Pule, a very good morning to you. So what is the basis of this letter of intention to suspend? What has happened?
Well, good morning and good morning to your viewers. Of course, without going into the merits and the demerits of the letter you are making reference to, because that kind of a communique remains an internal matter between Comrade Carl and his organization, the African National Congress. So the ANC had not distributed or disseminated the letter out to the media. So it is an unfortunate incident that the letter, through some means and ways, found itself out there. So we do not wish to talk about the merits and demerits of the letter and the issues that will be ventilated upon with Comrade Carl, who is a member of the African National Congress, because we regard those as internal issues between the ANC and its employee, Comrade Carl. You would know Comrade Carl is in the employ of the ANC. He is placed in the office of the Secretary General. Like any other member, if there is an issue that the ANC believes that a member ought to come forward through its own structures and explain himself or herself on whatever position that they shall have taken out in the public, it is well within the ANC's right and prerogative to invite such a member to come and be able to address such. So this is what has happened in this instance.
Well, Pule, it seems that, well, if it is Carl Niehaus who has released this, or somebody has sent this out, and it is out in the open, it is out in the public domain now, can you confirm then that there is a notice of intention to suspend him? It's out there already.
Well, I've already confirmed that. I've already confirmed our knowledge of that letter. I've already confirmed that the letter originates from the African National Congress. I went further to confirm that it is not the ANC that distributes the letter out in the public, and therefore the ANC would not talk about the merits and demerits of something that went out in the public without its own sanctioning.
Well,
we regard that letter as an internal. We regard the issues expressed in the letter as being of an internal nature, and will be addressed in accordance with how we deal with all other internal matters in the African National Congress.
All right, well, just judging by what is in this letter and just, what his response was in terms of what this apparent attack was by a certain member of the ANC against him, he obviously feels very hard done by. So, one would imagine if when he first publicized this in this statement that he titled a personal statement by Carl Niehaus about his ongoing recovery from COVID-19 pneumonia and just what his issue was there, had any of this been communicated to you as the ANC, that he was upset about something? Did you have knowledge that he was feeling angry about something?
Well, I'm sure that that internal platform would be able to create that space for Comrade Carl and those that will be interacting or interfacing with him to understand all of those. Should it happen that there is a need to communicate out to the public when all of these processes are concluded, the ANC will on its own terms issue a communique out to the public.
Well, he's in this letter and just in that in what he had to write about during his time, or how he perceived he was being treated in the time of recovery from COVID-19, saying, "I'm saddened that even the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Jessie Duarte, saw it fit to attack me." So he names who the person is that is in the letter, and undermine my long history as a 42-year veteran of the ANC in good standing, as well as my elected position as an NEC member of MKMVA and MKMVA National spokesperson. This she did knowing that when she was doing so, I was gravely ill. It was unnecessary and callous, and I'm deeply saddened by it. Had you any contact with Jessie Duarte about this incident, about what it seems has upset him so much?
Well, I do realize that we are trying very hard here to get the ANC to speak on something that the ANC did not issue. Let me repeat myself once more, for your own sake and for the sake of the viewer. The ANC will never break the lines of its own communications protocols, speak about matters that have found themselves in the public without its own sanctioning. The ANC is an organization that respects its... Can I just finish? The ANC respects itself greatly. The ANC has communicated to Comrade Carl. In the very same communique that we issued to Comrade Carl, the African National Congress went on to convey its own well wishes, wishing him well and a speedy recovery from COVID, like we have done with the rest of South Africa's people who have contracted, who have come into contact or contracted the pandemic. It is our duty to always make sure that those that are contracted are given the necessary support to heal, come back, and be of a good service to our organization. There is an internal matter before us now in the organization. The ANC has used its own internal platforms to make sure that those concerned or those that it seeks to invite are accordingly advised.
All right.
How this letter found itself out in the public was not by the design of the African National Congress itself. So the ANC will not be speaking about the merits or demerits of matters that are before it, which ought to be dealt with internally.
All right, but the letter was sent by FC Potgieter Kobule, the ANC General Manager, and the Secretary General has been CC'd, HR as well has been CC'd.
It was sent to Comrade.
But that doesn't matter, Pule. In the nature of things, isn't it now? It is there, isn't it? Sort of okay for you to explain what has happened?
Can I just assist you? There is nothing else that I'm going to be saying regarding this letter. Safe to say to you and your viewers that these are internal matters of the organization, respectfully so, and the ANC be accorded the space in the same way that the ANC respond when invited by the media to come and give clarity. The ANC is not denying the existence of the letter. That should suffice. What the ANC is now saying is that let us be accorded the necessary space to deal with these internal issues in the manner that we shall have designed ourselves. Should it happen that the outcomes of these processes warrant that we communicate to the public, we shall do so. We are a very responsible organization. We are not coming out and denying the existence of the letter. We are acknowledging that this letter indeed does exist, but its contents remain internal between ourselves and a member of the ANC, Comrade Carl, who is also in the employ of the African National Congress. He will be accorded the space to raise his own issues. The ANC will also have the opportunity to put forward its own case.
All right, so Pule, let's try this way. In a case, and I'm talking generically, generally speaking, in a case like this where someone's been given 48 hours to make this right, to avoid being suspended as well, this letter being out in the public domain, if it was indeed Carl Niehaus who released this to the public, would he be facing further action for making what you say is such a big secret that happens within the ANC? This is such a process that you want to deal with by yourself and not talk about it at all. Would he face further action now for actually releasing this to the media or putting it out in the public domain?
Well, I mean, people leak information all the time. We do not know who leaked this information or distributed it out there. The matter is now out in the public. The ANC is coming out and acknowledging the existence of the letter that was signed by our general manager, going further to even clarify that these are internal matters of organization. They will be dealt with just like that. The ANC has got a communications protocol. What the communications protocol desires or seeks to do is to call on all our members to make sure that how they carry out their own communications, it is well within the confines of organization, because communication is quite a very tricky, sensitive space that if it is not managed well, it can also serve to erode the very unity that we are trying to hold on to. So that's why it is important that from time to time, you have seen us coming out, whether when it was our own comrades violating social media policy, would have come out and issued statements on such conduct, because we did not believe at the time that such conduct would have been in keeping with the very protocols that the ANC want all of its members to hold on to.
So would you now investigate where or how this letter was leaked? Is that going to form part of your process?
We're not even going to be spending a lot of our energy investigating leaks. We are not really in that space. Because if we start doing that, we'll be distracted from doing the work that we must do. You know, we have got a serious work to worry ourselves about. The people of South Africa are looking for vaccine that would be able to help save them from this pandemic. The people of South Africa want to understand the intervention that their own government is making to fight the pandemic.
Well, Pule Mabe,
that is what we assist with.
Yeah.
I mean, we assist with the matters of the day that really concern our people. We are not worried about getting out of our way to investigate leaks. It's not really our purview.
All right. Well, Pule Mabe, I'm sure many South Africans will agree with you this morning that we do have a lot more on our minds, many more things more important than internal squabbles of the ANC. But of course, you know, once it's out in the public domain, it does require some kind of explanation. If the incident happened, I think that we deserve to know that it's been made such a big deal of. Yes, so we'll leave it there for now. We'll leave it there for now because I suppose the term trying to get blood from a stone applies here now. We're not going to get any more out of this until they sort out their housekeeping, I suppose, within the ANC. Still